Well, welcome to the bone and muscle strengthening progressions, level one. So, this is all about really connecting to what we need in order to progressively load the body in a safe way. And so, we're going to utilize Pilates principles to really strengthen the core. And then, we're also going to utilize gyrokinetic type of connections to lengthen the spine. And we want to utilize those through a lot of the exercises what we're going to do, but also in everyday life. So these are really functional movements and they help to keep our spine really safe as we're moving through life. But what we'll utilize today is a chair, something that doesn't move. And so you want to have it be on a solid surface. I have mine on my mat. And then also some towels or pillows because we'll be making our way down to the floor. But for right now, I'm going to be sitting sideways. If you could adjust your chair so that it's straight on and facing the computer, so you don't have to turn your head and crank your neck to see what's going on. Yeah. And we'll start with our basics, breathing and core connection. Yeah, so let's go ahead and sit kind of to the edge of your seat here. Yeah, and then you want to line your feet up. Feet are nice and parallel. Good. And you're sitting nice and tall on the sit bones and just have your arms be really nice and restful here. Now, in Pilates, we have a specific breath pattern to really help us connect to the core. And so it's inhale through your nose. And then exhale out through your pursed lips, like you're blowing out through a straw gently without adding tension to the jaw there. And we'll do that a couple more times. Just inhale through your nose and then exhale, blow through the lips. Now we want to direct the oxygen to the bottom lobes of the lungs, which is right where the diaphragm is. So see if you can feel that. Inhale through the nose and feel an expansion at the bottom lobes of the lungs, like an accordion. And that's really what our ribs do. And then blow through the lips and feel that connection to the core. Just draw the navel back towards the spine gently. Inhale, breathing into the bottom lobes of the lungs. So think of breathing sideways and even back into the bottom of the ribs. And exhale, blow through the lips and drawing the navel in. Good. And then I'm going to add some more muscle groups on this. So keep breathing like that. Now take an inhale through your nose. And then as you blow through the lips, feel the abdominals contract, but also I'll have you connect to your pelvic floor muscles. These are right at the base of the pelvis, and these are the muscles, so excuse the explanation, but they're the muscles we utilize to cut off the flow of urine. And these muscles weaken over time because they are loaded with all of our organs. Yeah. And they, really help us in a lot of different ways. But there's a fascial connection between pelvic floor and abdominals. So we're going to connect to that. Inhale, breathing in through the nose, back and sides of the lungs. Exhale, feel that lift of the pelvic floor and then feel a hopefully deeper contraction navel to the spine. Inhale through the nose, breathing into your accordion. And exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and deepen the abdominals. Now, the pelvic floor muscles are an endurance muscle, so you don't want to squeeze them as hard as you can. We want to work them so that they're working both inhale and exhale. So, inhale through your nose, expand the bottom lobes of the lungs. Exhale, lifting through the pelvic floor, deepen your abdominals. Now, as you breathe, try to keep the pelvic floor lifting. Keep the abdominal connection. Inhale and exhale. If you've lost it, just reconnect because it's a lot easier to connect to on the exhale. Yeah, and that just takes practice. It gets so strong over time. And so this is something we can do all day long. Yeah. And so I'm going to continue to add on there, but you're going to continue to do that. So inhale, breathing into your accordion. Now, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and the abdominals. Now, we're going to use our hands right on our thighs. So, bring your hands a little bit higher and then push down through the thighs. And you should feel a reverberation of your spine lengthening there. Good. Now, release that pressure on the thighs, and we're going to try to maintain that length. Inhale, breathing into your accordion. Exhale, lift through pelvic floor, pull the navel in, push down through the thighs, and lengthen the spine. Yeah, this is the first part of gyrokinesis is finding that extra length in the spine, creating actually space in between your vertebrae. So good for all of us, but if with low bone density, super important. Inhale, breathing in through the nose. And then big breath out, pulling through the pelvic floor, press down through the thighs and lengthen. And you can also hopefully feel the shoulders slide down, feel the neck lengthen there. Inhale. Let's take one more like that. Inhale and exhale. Pelvic floor, pull the navel in and lengthen the spine. Good. So we'll keep doing that in a lot of different positions. Really important for spinal integrity to keep that length of the spine. Now we're going to do a little bit of upper back extension, which is lifting the sternum. This is probably one of the most important things we can do as a human being, but also if you have low bone density. With low bone density, we tend to get kind of that curve in our upper back. We want to avoid that or reverse it. Yeah. So on this next, motion, we're going to be lifting the sternum, not a lot, and it's not a back arch. Yeah, you're going to control the arch of the lower back with the strength of the abdominals, and we're just going to move that upper back. Let's see how we do. Inhale, breathe in through the nose first. Exhale, draw up on the pelvic floor, draw your navel in, push down through the hands, and just lift your sternum. Feel your shoulder blades just slide back and down. Now, your eye gaze is just lifting up a little bit, not a lot. And then come back to that vertical position. Resume your eyes straight forward. Inhale. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, abdominals push down through the thighs, shoulder blades back and down, lift the sternum. Inhale, come back to that upright position. Good. And you might feel your ribs open up and out, and that's fine for extension, but keep your abs working there. Take an inhale and exhale, lifting through the pelvic floor. Do that pressure down, lift the sternum. Good. And then inhale, resume that straight spine and look straight forward. We'll do one more. Inhale, exhale, drawing the abdominals in tight, press down. Good. Hand to lift. Inhale, resume that straight spine. Again, those are something that we're going to practice throughout our progressions here. Yeah, but hopefully that felt good, and you can do that on a daily basis and as many times during the day as you kind of think about it. Yeah, you just press down and lengthen and deepen the core. The more you can do that, the more space you do get in your spine as well. Now, the next motion we're going to do is a rotation. Yeah, loaded rotation really bad if you have osteoporosis. Yeah, so we don't want to do that. Yeah, so we're going to rotate with a lengthened spine. Um, Rotation is also kind of a really tricky movement. If you're driving, we all rotate. So you want to do that in a safe way. If you're doing that and rotating this way, you're really making your spine vulnerable throughout your life. And we want to kind of keep that integrity of your spine and not damage it through just everyday life. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand on your right hip. Good. Or right hand on your right hip, left hand on your left thigh. Nice. And then the rotation is going to come from your hip. So let's just get that motion first. Yeah. So start to pull your right hip back. You don't have to actually use your hand. Just feel that right hip pull back. The whole spine goes in that direction. Yeah. And you look over. Perfect. Now bring your hip back, and then the spine follows as well as the eye gaze. Good. Let's add a breath in our core to that. Inhale here. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor. Feel the abdominals pull that right hip back and spiral tall. Keep lengthening. Good. And then inhale, resume back to your square position. Yeah, eyes straight forward. Beautiful. One more time like this. Inhale, exhale, right hip goes back. Good. The spine follows. Good. And you're going to feel your right shoulder there as well turn. That's perfect, you guys. And then inhale to go ahead and come back to center. Let's do that over to the left. So left hand on your hip, right hand on your thigh. Do a big inhale here. Exhale, connect through the core, pelvic floor, abdominals. Left hip moves, and then the spine follows. Yeah. And then inhale, resume your square position, eyes straight forward. Exhale, feel that lift of the pelvic floor, deepen your abdominals, move from the hip and spiral the spine. And then inhale. Now, we all are different from side to side, so you might feel a little less range of motion on this side or more. It's kind of normal as a human being, but the more we do this, we do balance out. Inhale, exhale, drawing the abdominals in, spiral from the pelvis, moves all the way out through the crown of the head and then coming back through center. Let's alternate. Go back to your right side, right hand on your hip. Inhale, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, move from the hip and spiral around. Good. And then inhale when you're ready to come back to center. Good. You move at your own pace. It's perfect. Switch your hands when you get to center. Exhale, make sure you're engaging your core first. Feel that and move from the left hip, spiraling around, looking in that direction. Inhale out. Inhale to come back to center. Let's do that one more time each side. Switch your hands. Inhale. Exhale, right hip moves and the whole spine moves towards your right. Inhale, coming back to center and think of lengthening through the crown of the head. As you exhale, draw up on the core. Right hip moves and you spiral, or left hip moves, you spiral left. Good. And then inhale to come back through center. Very good. Nice. And we will stop there on our spinal movements, but I'm going to address that as we kind of move on from there. Now, what we're going to do is address our legs and get ready for a sit to stand. But what I want to do is give you kind of an opportunity to kind of really strengthen your quads. So slide back a bit on your chair, but not all the way back. If you have a back of a chair, try not to lean back. And we're going to use that length of the spine here. We just want to support the legs because what we're going to be doing is extending one leg. Let's everybody just kind of bring your right heel out and we'll move the right leg first here. And we're going to be strengthening our quadricep and all the muscles around your kneecap. Super important for kind of a lot of body weight movement that we're going to be doing. But we incorporate everything. Yeah. So inhale through your nose. Good. Now exhale in this position. Pull up on the pelvic floor, deepen the abdominals, lengthen the spine, and extend your right heel out. Yeah. So kind of hold this position for a second. You want to pull up on your kneecap. There's a really important muscle, inner kneecap muscle, that actually helps to support the knee and prevent pain. Yeah, so we want to pull up. Now you're going to lower that leg down and tap your heel down. And we're going to continue that with core connection. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, draw the navel in and extend. Good. So you do want a straight leg here, pulling that kneecap up. And then inhale, we'll tap it down. We're going for 10 here. And think of that long spine. If you want to use your hands here, lengthen the spine and reach. So you're kind of creating a little L shape here. And then go ahead and lower down. Nice. Does require some hamstring length, so you try not to go back or flex the spine as you're straightening. Try to stay super tall and tapping down. Good. And then are you still breathing into the back and sides of the lungs? Lift through the pelvic floor and deepen the abdominals. It's a lot of body parts here. Inhale, we'll tap down. Good. And exhale, think of lengthening the spine, deepening the core. We're at 5. Good. Inhale, we'll tap it down. So, really important, we strengthen our quadriceps here. 4 huge muscles on the front of the leg. Yeah, super important for knee health. Yeah, if you have knee issues, one of the things, keep going here as I talk, keep engaging the abdominals. One of the things that really supports the knee are our muscles. Yeah, so 80% of your shock absorption for your knee joint actually comes from your muscles. So if your knees don't like a movement, we got to strengthen the muscles. And this is one way we're going to do it. And eventually, through subsequent classes, we're going to put ankle weights on our legs. So important to really get these muscles to be super strong and really support us, particularly the knee joint as we move. Good. And we've got 3 more. I am counting. Exhale, deepen your abdominals from the pelvic floor. Pull the navel in and reach. Good. We got 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Just the knee and really isolating that movement by stabilizing the body with your abs. Good. And reach it long. Good. And down, you should feel kind of warm here, hopefully a little bit of a burn. It's a good thing. On this one, we're going to hold it if possible. Yeah, we're going to move your ankle joint. Now pull your kneecap up, deepen your abs, lengthen the spine. Inhale, point your toes, stretch the top of the foot out, and then pull the toes back, stretch your back of the ankle. Should feel kind of good. We're going for 5. Inhale and exhale. Draw your abdominals in and lengthen the spine. Good. That's 2. Inhale. Nice stretch to the top of the foot. And then stretch the back of the ankle. If you're not used to doing this, you might cramp a little bit. Again, if you're not used to using those muscles, the muscles will say, "What are you doing?" And they'll cramp, and you just stop and relieve the cramp. And we'll do one more for today. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's put that foot down, draw it back underneath you. Let's do your other side. So hopefully you feel nice and warm. And one of the things that signals the muscle to get stronger is a burning sensation. That's what these muscles do. So if you felt a burn, that's a really good thing. Okay, let's sit tall. Good. Draw the pelvic floor and the abdominals in. Do a big inhale. Exhale. Let's extend the leg. Good. Now hold this one for a second and pull that kneecap up. Different leg, different story usually. And strengthening. Then that's what you want to get to. And you're just reaching through the heel. Let's go ahead and go through our pattern. You'll tap the heel down. Inhale. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, deepen the abdominals, and reach 2. Good. Inhale, tap it down. Good. And then keep that spinal lengthening going. You can use your hands to press down. Good. Inhale and exhale, keeping the core connected throughout the movement. Good. But if you lose it on the inhale and you're not used to keeping it connected, it's kind of normal. Yeah. So you just kind of practice. And the more that you do, the more it's just available to you when you kind of call upon it. Yeah. Inhale. Good. And then keep feeling the shoulder blades on that upper back. Good. We're at 5 there. Inhale. And each time when you strengthen it, you want to take a moment and pull the kneecap up. Good. Those are the super important muscles for knee health. And exhale there. 6. Good. Inhale. And exhale on 7. Good. Inhale back and sides, that accordion breathing. And then no tension in the neck or shoulders. Exhale. 8. Good. Inhale and exhale. There's 9. Really good. Get ready for a hold on this last one. And exhale, hold it. Keep holding the kneecap up. Ankle mobility. Inhale, point. Try to stretch the top of the foot and then pull the toes back and stretch the back of the ankle. Good. So super important. We not only have mobility in our ankles, but we're going to be strengthening them in just a moment because that's what supports us throughout the day. Inhale and exhale. Draw the abdominals in, lengthen the spine. We got 2 more here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale back and sides of the lungs. Deepen your core. Exhale. That's your last one. Let's go ahead and put the foot down. Nice. Okay, now we're nice and hopefully warm. Now we're going to practice our sit to stand. Yeah, so you're going to come right to the edge of your seat, and the feet are going to be a little bit back towards the chair underneath the knees. Yeah, because what we're going to do is we're going to get our body weight onto our feet in just a moment. Now, there's never going to be a time in your life where you're not going to do this. We sit to stand all day long. And if you do that like this over and over again, you're making your spine really vulnerable for spinal fractures if you have osteoporosis. And so what we want to do is practice that lengthening of the spine as we're going through that movement. Okay, that's the idea. So hands right here. Yeah. Now let's incorporate everything we've gotten so far. So draw the pelvic floor in, deepen the abs. Good. Hands onto the thighs and feel that length of the spine. Good. Now you're going to inhale here. Now, exhale, we're not going to stand up. What I'm going to have you do is hinge forward. Now, what you want to do is get your nose over your toes. Yeah. So hopefully you'll remember that rhyme. Yeah. And then you're going to hinge back. Yeah. Now you want to do that without rounding the spine. And this is where ankle mobility comes in. So you want your heels to be anchored there. Good. So you're going to inhale. Exhale. Let's go ahead and hinge forward. Get your nose over your toes, lengthening the spine, and then go ahead and hinge back. Good. And we're going to do that one more time. Good. So hinge and lengthen. So crown of the head reaching away from the tail. Good. And then go ahead and come back. Now we're going to get into that hinge and hold, but we're not going to stand up here. So exhale, hinge, nose over the toes. Now hold it here. Good. Now what I want you to do is drive your feet down, but pretend like you're going to stand. Yeah. So try to drive down so much that you're really engaging all the muscles of the legs and the abs. Good. And then go ahead and release that pressure and hinge back. That's what you need in order to kind of push yourself up from the chair. Good. So let's go ahead and we'll do that one more time and we'll come to a hover if that works for you. So take an inhale, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, deepen your abdominals, nose over the toes. Good. Now stay inhale. Exhale, drive your feet down so much you might come up to a hover, you might not. Good. And then have a seat. It's a lot of work. Yeah. It's also can be a lot of pressure on your knees. So you don't have to do the hover now, but you can just drive your feet down so much and just build a lot of strength that way. But we'll try that one more time and just see where we're at. Okay. So a lot of abs here. Good. So hinge forward. Now, if you felt a lot on the knees there, what you want to do is squeeze your glutes. So drive your feet down, feel your glutes engage, and then try to come to a hover. You can reach your arms forward. Good. And then go ahead and have a seat. Again, something to kind of practice over time. And then another thing to pay attention to when you are coming up, try not to let the knees fall in, but keep your knees right over the toes. Okay, so now we'll start that same way and we'll actually come up to a seated or standing position. Yeah. So get that spinal length, take a big breath through your nose. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, hinge. Good. Drive your feet down, go through that hover, and then stand all the way up. Good. Now you want to feel your glutes here. Good. Shoulders back and down, drawing up on the abdominals. Good. Now we'll inhale. We're going to reverse that. And exhale, stick your tail out, lengthen through the crown of the head, deepen your abs, and then slowly descend. Nobody move the chair, so it's there. You don't have to look back at it. Good, nice, excellent, good. And we'll do that just a couple more times. Take an inhale, exhale. Let's hinge, nose over the toes. Drive your feet down, engage the back of the legs, and then stand all the way back up. Good. Inhale and doing it nice and slow is actually really a great strengthening kind of exercise. Hopefully, you guys are feeling that. And now stick your tail out. So you don't want to tuck under. Again, really bad for the spine. Stick your tail out. Deepen your abs here. Shoulders back, lengthen the spine, and then slowly descend. So good. Yeah. Okay. We're going to get to a standing position and then stay there. Inhale. Draw the abs in, lengthen the spine. Good. Nose over the toes, shifting the body weight. Use your legs and come all the way up. Yeah, it gets easier over time. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and particularly if that was challenging for you, a way to strengthen is doing a half sit or really kind of a squat pattern. We're going to be loading this in subsequent sessions. So, really important we get this right as well. Good. Just take a look at your feet. Make sure they're still lined up in parallel because that can adjust. Yeah. It's not a normal standing position. Okay, so here we are standing now. Lift through the pelvic floor, draw your abs in, and feel your shoulders back and down. You're going to inhale here. Exhale, stick your tail out as if you're going to sit and reach your arms forward, but lengthen the spine. And we're just going halfway down and then come all the way back up. Nice. And lower the arms. Nice. That's it. And we'll keep going like that. So you're going to stick your tail out, draw your abdominals in, reach your arms forward, go down any amount, and then coming all the way back up. It can be really small, or you can almost go to the chair. So whatever works for you. Yeah, so you eventually, of course, we're sitting and we do this all day long. Good, keeping that spine straight. So good. Drive your heels down, feeling the glutes, feel your abdominals and shoulders back. Good. And we'll do about 7 more here. Good. So now as you're squatting, really bad if you do this. So keeping those shoulders back. Good. And then go ahead and come all the way back. Yeah. Good. So think of that spinal lengthening. Exhale, lifting through the pelvic floor as you're moving. Good. Drive your legs down, pull the kneecaps up, squeeze the glutes. Let's do 4 more. Good. So exhale, sitting halfway back. Good. Inhale, let's lengthening through the crown of the head. Great. And exhale, feeling the upper back muscles, feel your core. Good. Hinging at the hips, not tucking under. Good. 2 more. Exhaling. Really good. And inhale all the way up. Good. 1 more. So good. Down. Excellent. And then coming all the way up. So good. Excellent. Okay. So we're going to go actually stay in a standing position and we're going to go back behind the chair. Or if you don't have a back to your chair, I would suggest kind of just using kind of hand on something to balance. If you do have a back to the chair, what I'm going to have you do is turn your chair this way and your hands are going to be on the chair. Yep. And I'm going to face sideways so that you guys can see the pattern. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, perfect. That's great. Now, once again, look down at your feet. Make sure the toes are lined up and they're nice and parallel, just underneath your hips. And we'll utilize all those same concepts. So let's take a moment and inhale in through your nose, breathe into your accordion. Exhale, drive your feet down, lift through the pelvic floor, deepen your abs, and lengthen the spine. We'll take a couple breaths like that. Now, if you do have a chair, you're going to use the chair, push down on the chair, and do that spinal lengthening. You'll inhale through your nose. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor. Do a little pressure down on the chair and feel that length to the spine. Good. So another thing that you can practice is just like your hands on a countertop or whatever kind of back of the chair. And this is great to practice throughout the day. Exhale, push down, lift through the pelvic floor and lengthen. Good. Now we're going to do a heel raise here with that same connection, strengthening the ankles and the calves. So you'll inhale here, exhale, draw up on the pelvic floor, deepen your abs, and then rise up onto the balls of the feet. Good, utilizing the chair and just staying balanced there. Good, now lower back down, inhale. Good. And exhale, connect through the core. Hopefully, you want to connect through the glutes and rise up onto the balls of the feet. Very good. Inhale, lower down. Nice. And we'll keep going like that. We're going to do about 8 more. Now, as you press up onto the balls of the feet, you want to push a little bit more through the big toe side of your feet or a little bit more weight there and then lower down. The big toe is designed to actually take a little bit more body weight than your pinky toe. So exhale, try to drive down through the big toe side of your foot, although the pinky still participates. Yeah, so you still want to have all 10 toes on the ground and lower. And exhale, lifting through the pelvic floor, pull the navel back towards the spine. Good. And then inhale to lower. Good. And just a light touch on the chair, lengthening the spine, shoulders back and down. Inhale, we're going for 5 more here. Exhale, lifting. Good. And think of lifting your kneecaps up as well. So you want your knees to be super straight if that's okay for you, or just working in that direction. Yeah, so then you're kind of just isolating the calves to actually do this movement. Our calf muscles should be some of the strongest muscles in our body, and they're strong enough to lift our entire body weight one way, one leg or the other. Yeah, they're super strong, good, and they actually provide a lot of support for everything. Yeah, so let's go 2 more here. Exhale, deepening your abs, and just think of rising straight up to the ceiling. Let's do 1 more. Exhale. Good. And inhale, lower back down. Now we're going to do a little bit of the opposite. This is going to throw you back, but make sure you got a support here. So what you're going to do is engage your glutes and try to lift the balls of the feet off. Yeah, so now you're balancing on the heels, but don't fall backwards, please. And then go ahead and put the feet down. Yeah. So let's do a couple though of those. Draw your abdominals in, keep your knees straight. Pull the toes up towards the shins. You should feel your shins engage, and then go ahead and put that down. So you're kind of balancing on the center of your heel. And exhale, working our dorsiflexors of the foot. Good. Pull it back. Very good. Put the balls of the feet down. Good. Let's just do two more for today. Exhale. Good. And then inhale. Let's go ahead and lower. Nice. And one more. Exhale, pull the toes towards your shins. Very good. And then to lower that down. That's excellent. Good. We will leave that there for today. And now we're going to go and practice kind of a walking stride. Um, what I'm going to have you guys do is turn your chair or have a support, kind of a wall on one side or the other, and you're going to face this way. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my chair and I'm going to face this way so that you can see what's going on. Yeah. But I just don't want you to actually have to torque your head. Yeah. That's it. Good. Okay. So we're going to get into a small or a big walking stride. So you're going to take your leg that's closest to your chair and you're going to step it back behind you. Yeah. Now, what we want eventually to do is have about 3 feet in between your legs. Now, that might not work for today. And so do whatever works for you. Yeah. You want to take your back leg back as far as you can, keep your abdominals connected and your hips are level, shoulders are back, and you're not rounding the spine. You're high on the ball of the back foot, and then the front foot is lengthened, and you're pulling your kneecap up. I'm going to suggest opposite arm on your hip if that works for you, or you can just let it be down to the side. Now we're just going to move your back heel. Good. So we're going to inhale. Deepen your abs and lower your back heel down. Now, if your legs are too wide, just go ahead and bring that back leg in and then lift your back leg, your back heel. That's it. Yeah. You're going to exhale, draw your abdominals in as you lower that back heel down and then push through that back heel, pushing yourself forward. This is what we do as we walk. Certainly not, typically not this wide. And lowering it down. Good. But this really strengthens the legs. Hopefully you're feeling the glutes, the front of the legs, the abdominals. Good. And you don't want any pain. Yeah. So no pain. So just shorten your range as you go through this. We're going to take about two more here. Take it down. And this is what we do to propel ourselves off, running, walking, climbing stairs. Do one more. Yeah. Down and up. Good. Now hold your heel lifted. Good. We're going to just do a little micro bend of your back knee. Don't let your whole body drop. So bend your back knee. That's it. And then straighten the back knee. Good. We're going to take this into a lunge in a moment, but a lot of people don't get this knee bend here. And also it might be painful. So if that's painful, then you're going to bring your foot in a little bit and practice that. Good. And then let's do that a couple times. So bend your knee. Good. Keep the abs working and straighten the knee. Good. Do that one more time. Bend. Good. And then to straighten. Now we're going to bend your front knee and take it into a lunge. Yeah. So bend the back leg, deepen your abs, bend your front leg, and you go straight down. Good. And just go as far as you can. Yeah. So it's a big stretch on that back kneecap. And so it might be painful for some people, and you just do whatever you can. Good. But we're going to continue that. And so exhale, deepen your abs. Let's go ahead and bend both knees, go straight down. Good. And these are the muscles we use in walking again, running, climbing stairs. Yeah, so super important functional movement pattern, but probably one of the most, effective ways of strengthening the legs, which is really what we need to support our spine throughout life. Bending, very good. And straightening, we'll go for 4 more. If you've had enough, feel free to stop at any point. Good. Keep the spine lengthening. 3. Good. Now keep pulling up on the pelvic floor, pulling the navel in. Good. Adding everything in. Bigger movement patterns. 2. Good. Let's do one more. Good. Exhale. Good. And coming up. Good. Bring that back leg in. Good. And let's go ahead and go to the other side. So hopefully you felt kind of a nice warmness in the thigh. Good. So yeah, just flip your chair around if you're kind of facing the camera. That would be great. Good. All right, let's set up on this side. Again, different side of the body. It might be slightly different. And then also your feet are hip distance apart. Yeah, they're not staggered. Yeah, so kind of just you got some space there in between the legs just for that info. Okay, let's find our position on this side. Good. You're high on the ball of the back of the foot. Hips are square. Draw your abdominals in, lengthen the spine, and we start with just the back heel. Let's exhale, lower that back heel down. Yeah. And then we're going to lift the back heel up. Now, if that's too far, bring it in. Yeah. And exhale. You just find your range on both sides. Beautiful. Push through the ball of the foot. And we're trying to keep both knees straight. So keep pulling up on those kneecaps. We worked on the chair. Good. And press up. Good. And then we'll exhale, lower, deepen your abs. Good. And then keep that spine nice and long. Let's do 2 more here. Good. Down. And again, this is our propulsion off when we do walking. We typically don't feel it if you're just a walker. Good, but definitely if we use our ankle joint. Now hold it there, lift that heel up. We're going to practice our micro bend of the back leg. So without letting the body drop, bend your back knee and then straighten the back knee. It's a small movement. Good. And this is great, particularly if you go deeper and you have knee pain. Yeah. So just practicing this is super valuable. Deepening your abs. Good. And keeping your spine long. One more. Bend. Good. And straighten. Now we'll go bend both knees. It's like an elevator motion. Bending both knees any amount. Yeah, it might be less on this side or more. Yeah, you just kind of find what works for your body at the moment. Deepen your abs as you're bending, shoulders back. Good. And inhale to lengthen. You do want equal weight onto both legs. Good. So a lot of pressure through your front heel here, feeling the glutes. Good. And you're on the ball of the foot of the back leg, and you'll really feel the quadricep. Yeah, it might burn a bit, and that's fine. Good. And let's take about 5 more. Once again, if you've had enough on this one, feel free to stop at any moment. Although, if you can and make it really small, it's so valuable for strengthening your legs. Again, we walk all day long. This is something we're going to continue to do, hopefully, throughout our life. Yeah, so we want to exaggerate it and really strengthen these muscles. Good, they also support the spine. You got 2 more. And exhale, keep engaging the abdominals here. Good, and we're going to go 1 more. Good, let's take it down. Good, and all the way up, bring that back leg in. Very good, excellent. Okay, now we're going to utilize all of those concepts to get down to the floor. Yeah, so what I'm going to have you do is you're going to turn your chair. Good. I'm just going to, and then also this is where we're going to utilize some towels and some pillows. Yeah. I'm gonna use and I'm just show you with a stack of towels here, but you can use a bed pillow, you can use bath towels, you can use a couch cushion. Yeah. And then you might want a visual first, but what you're going to do is take the towels right in front of the chair. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's it. And then just turn the chair kind of the way I have it. And we're going to practice getting down onto the floor here. Yeah. But what we're going to do is we're going to sit sideways in the chair. Yeah. This is actually called the proposal position. That's exactly that. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Good. And so what I have is I have my left hip here, and if it's your right hip, that's fine. My left hip is on the chair. This foot is anchored. Yeah. And then this hip that's furthest away from the chair is actually off the chair. Yeah, and this is how we're gonna get down on the floor. Yeah, so see how this knee, how close it is to the floor or your prop. Yeah. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna slip our body off, but we gotta connect first. And so every time if you get down to the floor and you flex your spine, once again, you're really vulnerable for fractures. So you wanna keep the spine tall. Now you can use this hand and put it onto the chair, and that can help you. Good, but it's a lot of legs and abs. So take a big breath here, inhale. Draw your abdominals in, and you're going to slip your body off the chair and land on your cushion. Yeah, that's it. Good. Now, the challenge is actually to get back on the chair. This is a lot of abs. Good. And also a lot of legs. So take an inhale. Now, drive your legs down and sit back on the chair. Good. Now, that might not work, but the more that you do practice this, the better it gets. Inhale there, exhale, slip yourself off your chair, come down onto your pad, and you can really build that up if you need to. Inhale. Now drive both feet down through the heel, through the ball of the foot, and have a seat. Good. Let's do one more time on this side, and then we'll practice our other side. Inhale, exhale. Good. Keep your spine long, keep the core working. Inhale, exhale, go back onto the chair. Beautiful. Let's practice that over on the other side. Good. And this might be a different story. Yeah, it's a different side of the body. Good. But we want to balance out as much as possible. All right, good. So we gather our strength here, not only from the core, but the legs. Keep your spine long. Take an inhale. Deepen your abs as you exhale. Slip off the chair and land on your prop. Inhale. Exhale, drive your legs down, deepen the abs, and sit back on. And again, this might not work on this side or something you can practice. Inhale, exhale, deepen your abs and slip off onto your cushion. Take an inhale. Exhale, drive your legs down. It's a lot of legs here, and hopefully you're feeling that in the quads. Good. Let's do one more time on this side. Inhale and exhale. Let's slip off. Good. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and slip back on. Good. Now we're going to go back over to our first side and we're going to actually get down on the floor. So go ahead and shift yourself around. Good. That's it. Good. And good. So little muscle memory here. Yeah. So shoulders back, lengthen the spine, take an inhale. Exhale, gather that strength, and we will slip off the chair. Now we're going to stay here on our knees. Yeah. And we're going to get down onto all fours, and we're just going to kind of transition through that. So bring both knees onto your cushion. Good if you need a cushion, or you can just bring it to the floor. Just kind of depends. Yeah. Now here's your squat position. You're going to take your tail back, hands to the thighs. Good. Keep your spine long and then bring your hands down to the floor. Good. Now, this position actually might not work depending on wrist issues. Yeah, so you can shift back here if you don't want to put a lot of weight on your hands, but it's really important actually to load the arms. So if you can. Now, if you have wrist issues, let me just show you this. You can curl the mat up or roll it up and put your hands kind of on the mat this way, and it takes away a lot of the flexion that's required of the wrist when it's flat down. So do what works for you. We're not going to be here for very long today, but we will increase our length over time. Okay, so in this position, press your hands into the ground, lengthen the spine, slide your shoulders down, and draw your abdominals in. Now take an inhale here. Exhale, you're going to shift your body weight back over the legs. So stick your tail out and just shift back. Good. Now inhale, pull yourself forward till your body's over your wrists, if that's okay, or just come as far forward as you can. That's going to be it. Good. Now stick your tail out and reach the tail back. Exhale. That's exactly right. Good. And then inhale, press down, pull yourself forward. We're going to go for 3 more here. Inhale as you shift back, think of lengthening through the crown of the head. So you're lengthening the spine even here. And then as you shift forward, lengthen through the tail. Yeah, so both ends lengthening away. 2 more. Exhale, draw your abdominals in, lengthen the tail away from the crown of the head. Good. And then pull yourself forward, lengthen the tail away. Good. And one more time. Good. Keeping the neck long, deepening your abs as you shift back. Good. And then pull forward, keeping the abs connected. That is exactly right. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to switch positions. That's all we're going to do there. Yeah, so now if you're on your pads, you're going to come off of there. We're going to do kind of a log roll to our back. Yeah, so come down onto the side of a hip. Good. And then you're going to come all the way down onto your side and roll over onto your back. And I'm going to have you use a pillow or a towel underneath your head. Yeah, so that you're a little bit supported there. Very good. Okay, here we go. We're isolating the abs. This is how we started. But now that we're in a new position, we have the opportunity to really strengthen our core here. So everybody bend your knees and just bring your feet close or just comfortable to the back of the hips. You're going to take your hands right on your pelvis. We're going to find our neutral position by rocking our pelvis. And we'll use our breath there. Inhale through your nose and then blow through the lips and tuck the tail under. So you want to feel like you're pressing the lower back down to the mat, and then the ribs are down on the mat. And then inhale, reverse that. Let's go into a little arch of the pelvis and the lower back, and the ribs will come off. Let's alternate that, but be safe for yourself. If something doesn't feel good, then just reduce the range or leave it out. So you exhale, tuck under. And then inhale, let's go into an arch. We'll just take a couple more there. Exhale as you tuck under, just feeling the abdominals contract. Good. And then inhale as you go into the arch, the abdominals will lengthen. And do one more. Exhaling. Nice. And then inhale, going into that arch. We'll finish there. Now, what you want to do is find a middle position. So find a position in the pelvis that it's right between your tail tuck and your arch. And what we're, biomechanically looking for is the hip bones and the pubic bone being on the same plane. So if you put a cup of water or coffee or tea on your pelvis, it wouldn't tip one way or another. Now you want the bottom rib to be resting on the mat, so close your ribs in and down, but we also want a little natural curve in your lower back. Yeah, and these are a lot of little nuances that we'll work on throughout our progressions, but super important for kind of spinal health here, as well as deepening our core. So now you're going to try to stabilize this position. Do a big inhale through your nose, feel that expansion into your accordion. And then exhale, lift through the pelvic floor here and pulling that energy up towards the navel and feel the abdominals contract, but try not to flatten your back there. Take an inhale through your nose and exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, feeling that connection to your core. And as you're feeling that, you want to feel like it's a kind of pulling everything in, like you're narrowing the waist. And that's exactly what that deep abdominal muscle does. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. So you're lifting through the pelvic floor, and that deep abdominal muscle is actually called the transverse abdominis, and it's our natural girdle. It pulls in and narrows the waist. Yeah, it's really subtle at first, but it gets stronger the more you practice. Take an inhale through your nose and exhale, deepen your abs. Now we're going to start to load this position with some little marching. Yeah, so we'll prepare with an inhale. Now we're going to try not to move the pelvis. On the exhale, deepen your abdominals. Let's start with the left knee lifting up right up over the pelvis. Good. So you'll lift up, and then inhale, we'll put that foot down, and we're going to alternate here. Exhale, lift your right leg up. Good. And then inhale to lower back down, and keep alternating there as I cue you. So as you lift, you try not to let the pelvis or the ribs move. Here we're working on a lot of precision to deepen the abs. Good. And the more precise you are, I'm not looking for perfection, just precision on trying to deepen the abs. Stay really still as you mobilize one leg and then the other. Good. So the more we can be pretty precise here, then it's available for you when you move in life. And we do this again, walking, climbing stairs. Yeah. So if you have back issues, hip issues, this is such a good thing to practice to really keep things still. Let's do one more time each side, wherever you're at. Good. And exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Let's put the foot down. Go now, take both arms down to the side of your hips. Let's turn your palms in. Now we're going to do the marching, but we're going to add an opposite arm. And so just prepare, do an inhale here. Now, left leg, right arm. Exhale, deepen your abs and lift both up like you're doing a big march. That's exactly right. Now put both of those sides down and we'll do the other side. Right knee, left arm. Exhale, deepen your abs. Good. So now adding on here, the abs have to work harder. Exhale, lift. Good. And then just relaxing the neck and shoulders. Good. Support yourself with the pelvic floor and the abdominals. Let's do about 4 more wherever you're at. Move at your own pace. Good. Inhale on the lowering. Exhale, deepen the pelvic floor and the abdominals. Good. And we'll do one more time each side. Exhale. Good. Inhale. And one more. Exhaling. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and put that down. Excellent. Good. Okay, now we're going to challenge the abdominals a little bit more. And then what I'm going to have you do, we're going to get into a different pelvic position. So rather than stabilizing in neutral, we're going to stabilize in an imprint. And what that is a tiny tail tuck. So do a little bit of a tail tuck here, and then see if you can feel that deeper in your core. Hug your ribs in and down, shoulders back and down. Good. Now we're going to go for a walk with our legs. Hold that little tail tuck. Do an inhale. We're going to start with the left knee again. Exhale, lift your left knee up into that tabletop position. Hold. Good. Now inhale. Now we're going to lift your right leg up. Don't let your back arch. Exhale, deepen your abdominals. Good. Nice. Now let's go ahead and lower that left foot down. Good. Don't let your back arch right there. Put it on the floor, and then we'll lower the right leg down. Good. Keeping that imprint. Okay, so now we're going to lead with the right leg. Let's inhale. Lift your right knee up. Left leg, exhale, lift. Good. Right leg lowers. Inhale. Left leg lowers. Good. Exhale. Now the left leg. Inhale. Left leg lifts. Exhale. Right leg meets it. Good. Inhale. Lower that left side down. Can you press your shoulders back and down? Exhale. Right leg lowers. Right leg leads. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Left knee. Good. Inhale. Right knee goes down. Good. Exhale, left side. We're going to go one more time, each leading side. Left leg first. Inhale. Exhale, deepen your abs. Right leg. Inhale, left leg. Slowly lowers, controlling that. Exhale, right leg. Last time. Right leg's going to lead. Inhale. Left leg. Exhale. Good. Right leg lowers. And then left leg lowers. Excellent job. Good. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do what we call a shoulder bridge. What I'm going to have you do is move your pillow out of the way or just lower it down because now we're going to be lifting the pelvis up. Hands are going to go down to the side, and I'm going to have you, if it's okay, bring your feet a little closer to the back of the hips, but keep them hip distance apart because now you're going to stand on your feet. Now you're going to do an inhale here. Now exhale, initiate with the abs, squeeze your glutes, and press your hips straight up to the ceiling. This is a shoulder bridge. Push down through your arms. Good. Now take an inhale here. Now exhale, hinge at the hips and set your pelvis back down. Good. We're going to do 4 more like that. Inhale there. Exhale, deepen your abdominals, squeeze your glutes, push down through the back of the arms, lift the hips. Good. You're lengthening out those hip flexors. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Here's your squat position. Keep your spine long. Inhale and exhale. 3 more. Squeeze your glutes, push down through the feet, and you want a little bit more energy through that big toe side of your foot. Inhale. And exhale, hinge and lower down. Very good. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Now use your arms as well. Press down through the arms, the back of the arms, the back of the shoulders. So here you're working the whole kind of what we call posterior chain, the glutes, the back of the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to go for one more. Inhale and exhale, pressing the hips up. Beautiful. Good. Let's take an inhale there and exhale, hinging back down. Excellent. Okay. We're going to do one more thing on the floor and then we'll get back up. What I'm going to have you do is log roll all the way over and we're going to land on our stomach. But what you want is you want to grab either a pillow or a towel and put that underneath your rib cage. Yeah. So with osteoporosis, if you have that, your ribs get really tender. And if you put pressure on them, they can kind of fracture really easily. So this is going to protect your rib cage. Yeah. And then also you can put something underneath your pelvis as well. Now we're going to utilize the glutes that we just strengthened from our shoulder bridge. So press your hips down, reach long through the legs and pull your kneecaps up. So kneecaps are typically not on the mat. Good. Arms are just by the side and nose is at a hover. Now exhale your air out here. Draw the abdominals in away from your kind of towel there. Press the hips down so you're feeling your glutes and your abs. Now inhale here. Now exhale, draw your shoulder blades together and down, push through the hands, and you're going to lift your upper body up into that slight extension that we did when we were sitting in the chair, working those upper back muscles. Good. Now do an inhale here. And then exhale, lower back down. Now, it doesn't matter how high you come. Yeah, what matters is that you don't feel this in your lower back. Take an inhale. Exhale, start by sliding the shoulders back and down. Draw your abdominals in and extend up. And you can press with the arms a little bit. Now, take an inhale. You're working your upper back muscles. And then exhale. This is probably one of the best things you can do for kind of all of us, but particularly osteoporosis. Inhale, because we tend to really get rounded in that upper back, and this will counterbalance that. Good, and strengthen those muscles. Inhale. Good, and exhale, lowering down. We're going one more. Inhale. And exhale, shoulder blades back and down. Good, and to lift. Good, inhale. And exhale to lower down to that hover. Good. Now go ahead and stack your hands on top of each other and put your forehead on top of your stacked hands. And we're going to do a little relaxation here. And so let everything go. And then start to just wiggle your hips side to side. Good. Now, this might not work for you, but for most people, it feels really good. And it just kind of relaxes the lower back, just in case, it got a little tense through that back extension, which can happen, but we got to strengthen those back muscles. Okay, but that's just a nice little release there. But we're going to move on here. And then, so what we're going to do is get up off the floor from this position. Good. Okay, so you kind of have to bring your forearms underneath you. Good. And you're going to start to lift the hips and then walk your knees in, and we're going to end up in that all fours position. Good. Now, if you had, a towel for your knees, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of reverse our position here. Yeah, so you can kind of grab that. Yeah, and then walk yourself onto your prop there. Yeah. We're going to come back up into that kneeling kind of squat there. So shift your body weight back. Good. Start to walk your hands back, and we're going to walk our hands up the thighs, keeping our spine straight there. Here we are, high kneeling. Hopefully your chair's right here. Yeah, because what we're going to do is reverse our whole process and get into our kind of proposal position. So leg that's closest to the chair, that foot is going to come forward. Good. You're going to tuck your back toes under. Nice. Here we are. Deepen your abs, shoulders back. Use that hand on the chair. And let's go ahead and slip ourselves right back onto the chair. Beautiful. And then just go ahead and face me. Nice job. Very good. Okay, we're right onto the edge of your seat. Good. Now, one thing I do want to introduce to you is a little bit of bone loading. Yeah. And then this is super important for all of us to keep our bones really strong. but this is a really safe way to just start this movement. Yeah. And so we're going to do this with one leg, but what I'll have you do, and I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. So, same thing, we're going to just keep your spine really straight. Good. Deepen your abs. Now you're going to take one foot here and we're going to go in different directions. And you're going to just start to kind of pound the floor with your heel. Yeah. And you're going to go in different positions. Yeah. We're just going to do one leg for right now because your bones are a matrix of kind of tissue. Yeah. They're really strong, but they're not in one direction. So we want to change kind of the different kind of pounding that we're doing and feel that reverberation through the bones up through the rest of the body. Now, eventually we'll be doing this standing. Yeah, but a great thing to do throughout the day is to do that. Let's do that on the other side. Good. So deepen your abs. Good. So continue that motion. And let me just go to the side. You try not to round, but keep super tall as you're kind of pounding forward and back. You kind of think of crushing grapes. Yeah. And then doing this in a lot of different positions. Good. Again, we'll be experimenting with what works and really strengthening our bones over time. But let's go ahead and we'll stop there. Yeah. What I'm going to have you do is let's just do a big breath here. Drop your arms down to the side, turn your palms out. Let's sweep the arms out and up. Good. Get a good stretch, reaching the fingertips to the ceiling. If that works for you, an exhale will circle down and around. Good. Leave your arms here, and then let's go ahead and just circle the shoulders out a couple of times. Let's let all of that go. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for joining me.